DidikTV KPM.
Hi everyone, and you are now watching Road to Success SPM 2021 together with me, Sean Stephen, as your host. Now, before we begin, I just want to remind each and every one of you to always follow the SOPs in place for our battle against COVID-19, such as wearing the face mask. Even though I have my glasses on, I still would have to wear my face mask. Wash your hands often. Do use the hand sanitizers whenever possible. And also, when you're among other people, ensure that your distance is at least 1 meter apart. And for today, for the subject of English, we'll have a guest teacher who will be with us today. Let's have a look at her profile. And there you have it. That is the profile for our teacher for today, Puan Halimatul. Hello.
Hello,
Hi, thanks
Sean.
again for joining us today. Now, before we continue, I'd like to invite you over to the table so that we can practice some SOPs.
All right.
Over here. So I'll just like to have you to use the hand sanitizer. Same goes for me.
Definitely.
We can now remove our face mask.
All right.
Okay, so here, for those of you watching, be sure to always keep your face mask after removing them. Keep them in a safe place, either in your pockets or in a special container. For example, here, like the teacher and I, we have special casings just to keep our face mask. Okay,
All right.
so once again, before we begin, I'd like you to introduce yourself to our audience.
Okay. All right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. I'm Halimatul Sadia binti Abdul Razak. I'm a teacher. I teach English language at Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Pusat Bandar Puchong 1 in Taman Wawasan Puchong. I started teaching in 1997, and that would probably make about 23, 24 years.
24 years,
Yes,
but you look so
24
young.
years. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right,
And,
so yes.
thank you for the opportunity to be here, and I hope whatever that I'm going to share today will be of benefit not just to the students who are going to be with us today, but also to the whole nation. All right.
That's right, that's right. And can I address you as Puan Ima, right?
Yes,
Puan
please,
Ima.
thank
So
you.
thank you again, Puan Ima, for being with us today. Now, before we begin, I'd like to just go over to our earlier spot.
All right.
That's over here. Okay. And the reason why is because it's not just the both of us today. There's actually some students who will be joining us online on Google Meet. Let's see who they are. Hi.
Hello. Hey guys.
Hi. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself. We're going to start off first with Alif. Alif, yes.
Switch on the microphone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please do switch on your microphone. Just say hello and also introduce your full name.
Hello. My name is Muhammad Al-Hafiz bin Muhammad Syamsul Kamari.
All right, thank you very much. And next, we also have
Zandria.
Zandria.
Hi Zandria.
Hi, Zandria. Could you just turn on your mic and introduce yourself, your full name?
She's a bit static. Sorry. Maybe she needs to
Maybe she
reconnect.
needs some time. We
It's
also
okay.
have
Jonathan.
Yes,
What about Jonathan? Yeah.
Jonathan.
Hello there, my name is Jonathan Siutun Sien. I'm from SMK Aminuddin Baki.
Thank you very much.
Looking
And
smart in his uniform.
yes, all ready for class today. We also have
Chinma.
Chinma.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there she is.
Okay,
My
please
name
do
is
turn on your
Shinma
mic.
Khan, and I'm
Okay.
from.
Sorry, could you do that one more time, please?
Hello, everybody. My name is Shinma Khan from Aminuddin Baki too.
All
Hey,
right. Thank you very much.
morning.
And I think let's just go back to Zandria if she's available.
Yeah.
Probably she's not available right now,
Yeah, these are
we'll
some
give
of the challenges, Sean, that we
Yes.
face when we do online teaching,
Yeah.
but we try our best.
Yes. All right, so speaking about teaching, what will you be touching on today?
Okay, for today, because this is the newly aligned English language syllabus to the Common European Framework of Reference,
Yes.
or commonly known as CEFR.
Yep.
Students, they are not really sure about what's the format going to be like,
Okay.
because it's totally different from the SPM English that you set for
Yes, that's
many
right.
moons ago.
Yep.
So I'll be touching a bit on the format,
Yep.
and then we'll be doing a little bit of teaching to see whether we'll be doing a reading activity actually
Yep.
for today,
Yep.
and I'll try and tie it into the format of the exam at the same time. Yeah.
Great, great. Really looking forward to it. But before that, let's take a short break and we'll be back to you for Road to Success SPM 2021. Stay tuned.
DidikTV KPM. DidikTV KPM.
Now, before we begin, again, I'd like to remind you to always follow the SOPs in place in our battle against COVID-19, such as using hand sanitizers, wash your hands often, wear your face mask when you're not at home, and also make sure you keep a distance of at least 1 meter apart. And as you know, we also have Puan Ima that's with us today, as well as our 4 students who are online. So before we begin, I think I would like to give this opportunity to Zandria for her introduction because of some technical problems that we faced earlier. So Zandria, you can turn on your mic and also introduce yourself.
So hi, I'm Zandria. I'm from SMK Aminuddin Baki.
All right, thank you very much. And Puan Ima, the floor is now yours.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so good morning, everybody. And hi, guys. I hope you guys are ready for today's lesson or input of the day. If you have any questions that you want to ask me, just switch on your microphone and, post your question, okay? All right, for today, like I mentioned just now, we are going to first look at the format, the brand new format for the SPM English Language Form 5 exam. I don't really like to use the word exam so much,
Yeah,
Sean,
yeah.
because, it gives that heebie-jeebies to
Yes,
the pupil.
yes,
So
yes.
it's more of looking at how you are able to present what you have learned all these years
that's a nice
throughout.
way to put it,
Okay,
yes.
so you guys, I know feeling a little bit nervous or maybe wondering what it's going to be like. So I'm just going to remind you. Can you remember what you guys did in your PT3 for English? Can you guys remember how many exams did you have to sit for?
We sat for 4 exams, so we had reading, listening, speaking, and writing.
Yes, wonderful. Yes. Okay. Yep. So technically, with our new format, we will be, or you, all the SPM pupils this year, you will be sitting for 4 papers.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
reading,
okay. Yes.
listening, speaking, and writing, which is definitely not the same
Yes,
as.
that's true.
Yes.
Yeah,
Would you like
correct.
to share a bit of your experience with
Okay,
your
I think
SPM?
for reading, but for speaking as well as listening, that was done in the classrooms during our usual what we call lessons. But I think then we had, I forgot whether we had 1 or 2 papers, but I know we had to write essays and also we had some comprehension questions
Yes,
as well.
that's
or text
right.
questions,
Yeah. When it's the actual exam itself at the end of the year, you guys sat for 2 papers.
Okay, yeah,
which
correct.
was the writing, paper 1, and the comprehension and literature for paper 2.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mentioned the word literature. This is I wouldn't say the fun part, but it's a part where I think a lot of pupils will feel a little bit a sense of relief, okay, for you guys. You will still be learning literature in the school, in the classroom, but it's more for pleasure, to instill their interest in reading literary materials like poetry, short stories, and novels. But good news, it will not be in the exam.
Oh, I would say lucky them.
Why lucky?
Because they wouldn't need to use that memory capacity for something else. But at the same time, hopefully they also take that opportunity, even though they're being taught in
Yes.
classrooms, to really take the opportunity to
Yeah.
also be exposed to this.
True, definitely. That's the whole idea of putting in the literature in the curriculum to
Yeah.
instill the love, not just to use English for the purpose, oh, I need to write a letter,
Yeah.
or I need to speak better, but we want them to use the language, love the language, and be better speakers,
Yes, that's true.
etc.
That's true.
Okay, so having said that, let's go to the projection that I have here.
Okay.
At the end of the Form 5 year, CFR aligned curriculum for English focuses on enabling pupils to communicate confidently, proficiently, and competently. Right?
Okay.
So, and that covers the 4 skills. With the previous focus
Yes.
of the exam, the main focus was mainly on writing and reading. I think that's what you
Yes.
experienced at
Yes,
school,
yes,
right?
yes, that's true.
Okay, the teachers made you guys write compositions
Yes.
over and over again. In fact, some of them you even memorize, right?
Well, to a certain extent,
Yeah,
yes.
to a certain extent. So, but here with CFR aligned curriculum, our focus is on getting the pupils to be a natural language speaker, and
Okay.
in this case, it's English language.
Ah, okay.
And the weightage for all the 4 skills are the same. I will go in detail later.
Okay.
So technically, this is basically, in essence, what we want the pupils to achieve at the end of the Form 5 year.
Ah,
Okay.
all right,
All right.
okay.
So basic understanding of the English language. So they are able to communicate. I think you can see this word communicate a few times. So that's the whole idea of a CFR aligned curriculum.
Okay.
We want the pupils to be able to communicate,
Yes.
not just be a child who can memorize and just simply regurgitate
Yeah.
what they have memorized.
Yes, that's
All right. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so here, this is a little bit technical.
Yeah.
So if you guys, just read through. If you want to ask me any questions, just ask. Okay. But right now, okay, these are the intended level aims, as you can read at the top there.
Yeah.
Okay, to cover the threshold and vantage user ability, B1 and B2. As defined by the CFR. In the CFR, there are 6 levels. We start with level A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, and C2.
Okay.
So if you take the test, okay, which you can if you want to,
Yes.
and you are certified as a C2 speaker,
Okay.
that's basically native speaker.
Ah,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. So
Yeah.
technically, all teachers who are teaching in Malaysia, teaching English language, has to be in the C1 and the C2 level.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. That's good.
Right.
Yeah.
But for you guys, okay, hopefully you all will be finishing your school year at the end of the year and exit Form 5 at B1.
Okay.
Okay, that's the target for all the Form 5 pupils. However, having said that, we do have proficient pupils who can read really well, write really well,
Yes.
speak, like an American. I think Malaysian kids, somehow they love to use the American accent. I don't
Yes,
know
that's
why.
true, yeah.
So anyways, we do have pupils who are already at the C1 level, depending on the range of where they are located at.
Yes.
So basically, if you are in the city,
Yep.
due to exposure,
Yeah.
so most probably the proficiency level will be a little bit higher.
Yes.
So if you have a question, if you guys are wondering why is it just B1 at threshold or intermediate, it's because we're looking at the whole of Malaysia,
Yeah.
nation as a whole. You cannot compare yourself with somebody who's staying in Kinabatangan, for example.
Yeah.
Or from a friend of yours who's in Limbang. They can speak,
Yeah.
but they might not be at C1.
Yeah.
They might be at B1 low. And even in the B1 level, we have 3 categories.
Okay,
Low,
okay.
intermediate, and high.
Yeah.
So, but for us, Malaysia, we have decided that we, meaning the people at KPM lah, not me. I'm just a teacher, I'm just teaching. I have to make sure that my pupils exit Form 5,
Yes.
2021,
Yep.
at B1.
Okay.
For
okay.
all the 4 skills.
Ah, all right.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. So is that clear, you guys? All right. So if you are already writing on average, speaking, I think the problem would be with speaking. What do you think, Alif? Do you agree with me? Do you speak in English all the time at school?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Why is that so? That's always the problem, right, at
Yeah.
school. You can speak English, right? Shy, is it? Or is it shy cat? Yeah, I'm just kidding. Okay, all right. So if you guys read here, there are the 3 bullets there, okay? That's the whole idea or concept of, at the end of the year, our pupils will be of the same level if the pupil exit at B1
Yep.
in that certificate, all right,
Okay.
CJL tu.
Yeah.
So if he goes to France, for example,
Yeah.
and he is of the same level as a French pupil who has B1.
Okay.
That's why we call the
it's a
CEFR
very
aligned.
general or very
Yes.
common kind of
Yes,
levels, so
exactly.
everyone can relate to.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly. So right now, our English has a standard. Before,
Yes.
during your time, during my time, it was just our Malaysian standard.
Okay.
So
okay.
now that the curriculum is aligned to CFR, because we are following all the requirements that
Yes.
are dictated there,
Yeah.
or that are listed there, Zandria, Shinma, Jonathan, and Alif, if they exit at B1, they can proudly say, hey, I'm a B1.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
so
The same
international
as
standards
any
are correct,
B1
yeah.
English language speaker around the world that follows CEFR.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
All
got
right?
it.
Okay. Okay, so these are the subject objectives. I don't think we really need to go through in detail, but this is more for the teachers to explain to the pupils. Maybe when we have our next lesson, if you want to know what's the focus on. So there are these the 7 focuses, okay? Communicate. Again, you see the first word that I see is communicate,
Yeah,
all right?
yeah.
Appreciate, inculcate values, respond, applying the knowledge, exploring, adopting values. Because the curriculum, we will focus on themes.
Yes.
So for example, for Form 4, for the first lesson, the focus is on science and technology.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so in that particular lessons, I think we will have about 26 lessons or 13 lessons if I'm not mistaken. The content will be based on anything related to science and technology.
Okay.
So the vocabulary, okay, that we will introduce to the pupils will also be related to science and technology.
Okay.
So with language, not just English, with any language, Bahasa or even Mandarin or any other languages, our focus is on getting the pupils to get the skill that they're supposed to get. For example, for today, we are going to focus on looking at the main points
Yes.
in a reading text.
Yeah.
So if they are able to respond to the questions correctly, hopefully they'll get all the answers correct, or at least 3 out of 5, then the objective is achieved in that particular lesson. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so again, some more assessment objectives. Okay, oh sorry, hang on. I'd like to touch on this part here. Okay, the use of grammar correctly and effectively. Okay, in this newly aligned curriculum, we have specific lesson
Yeah.
that focuses on grammar per se.
Okay.
Unlike when you were in school.
Yes,
I don't
that's
think
right.
you had a whole lesson just solely on grammar.
No, it wasn't that way. I think
Yeah.
it was more of a general kind of teaching method, not really focused on grammar itself.
Yeah. So, but this particular newly aligned curriculum, we have one lesson in each cycle. One lesson is solely for grammar, but we don't call it grammar. It's known as language awareness. Okay, so because you know whenever people hear the word grammar, they get a little bit, they'll freeze. Alamak, grammar,
Yes,
but,
yes, that's true.
So that's why we've labeled it differently.
Yep.
Rebranding, as
Yep.
how you would say it.
Yep.
Language awareness, because and the focus is not just to get them to memorize
Yes.
the grammar items, but it will be infused with that particular lesson cycle itself.
Okay.
So let's
learning
say,
it indirectly in a way.
yes, that's right. So
Yeah.
let's say we're looking at present perfect tense
Okay.
or present continuous.
Yes.
Okay, is plus ing participle.
Yeah.
Contoh is walking or
Yeah.
is cooking. That is present continuous tense.
Yeah.
Those grammar items will be in the reading text. And those grammar items will be in the listening text.
I see.
It will be in the speaking text. The students will need to produce a kind of a speech or when they're presenting using a present continuous tense.
Okay.
So that's how we get everything inside the
Yes.
skills itself. And even in writing also, when they write their composition,
Yep.
they will write a composition utilizing the grammar skills that they have been taught.
I see.
Okay? So
Alright.
don't worry so much about, oh no, grammar lesson is going to be boring. You know. Usually, I think most of you guys, your language teachers are usually fun. Okay?
Yes.
All right.
So anything else you'd like to add on before we go to our break?
Okay,
Just a
right.
quick
So
one.
finally, I just want to show this to the pupils. Okay, so you guys, this is technically, this is quite detailed, but you guys I just want to, I'm sorry, this pointer cannot show here, so I have to point with my
Okay, no worries.
fingers. Please excuse me. Okay, so wajaran is percentage.
Okay.
So 25%, 25%, 25%, and 25%. For this is reading,
Yep.
pemahaman. Penulisan is writing, also 25%. Speaking
Yep.
is also 25%. And listening is also at 25%.
So it's all equally weighted.
Yes.
Yeah.
The only difference would be at the permarkahan saja, the marks.
Okay.
So writing is 40 marks. Writing is 60, reading is 40, speaking is 24.
Yep.
All right, and listening is 30. So please don't ask me how they're going to do the maths to it, because I'm quite okay with maths, just basic stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when they graduate sekolah menengah or finish sekolah menengah,
Yes.
they will have a certificate that will show all these details.
Okay, great.
All right.
So
and
before we
the
move
timing's
on
also
into our
there.
lesson for
Yeah.
today, how about we take a short break and we'll be back at Road to Success SPM 2021. Don't go anywhere.
DidikTV KPM. DidikTV KPM.
And we are back with Road to Success SPM 2021, first subject of English, and I'm here together with Puan Ima. All right, so earlier we were touching on the whole concept or the syllabus that is slightly different, and now it's more integrated to international standards. And right now we'll be actually going to the gist of what we're going to learn for today. So here we go. Over to you, Puan Ima.
Thank you very much. Okay, so as I have mentioned just now, we looked very briefly at how this curriculum is a little bit different, not
Yep.
so much,
Yep.
but like you say, I like the word that you used just now, international standards.
Yes.
It's true. We now have a standard, and you guys can say, hey, I'm a B1 CFR English language speaker. Okay?
Yeah.
Right, so for today, we are going to start off with a simple lesson. I hope our pupils are ready. I hope they're going to be online with us soon. Okay, so, but in any case, our first lesson for Form 4 is actually a reading lesson. And the learning standard or the learning objective that we are going to achieve for today is to look at or to read a text and be able to identify the main ideas or the main points that are in the text. And as a complementary skill, pupils are going to express their own ideas by responding to a question that is given. Okay? So
Alright.
we're going to start off by looking at a preparation task. If you look at the projection here on the television, so before reading the article, usually before we read any article or do any activities, there should be a warm-up or a teaser exercise.
Alright.
Okay? So pupils are going to read an article about robot teachers.
Yeah.
So it's related to our theme, which is science and technology.
Yes.
All right. And by doing so, you are going to practice and improve your reading skills by answering the tasks or the questions later.
Okay.
But before we read, here's a preparation task that pupils need to do. There are 6 vocabulary phrases, actually. You have creative empathy as one word, and the rest are phrases. And the pupils are supposed to try and match.
I see. Okay.
So for example, the definition that's given here on the right side of the table, first one is to think something is less than it is, the ability to think of new ideas, when someone takes control of something like a job or a place to change something so that it fits better, to work out what kind of illness someone has, and the ability to deeply understand someone's situation or feelings. So this is a definition. So the job of the pupils is to try and match the definition to the vocabulary on the left column of the table. So that's the first task the pupils are need to do. Usually in a conventional classroom, I will pair up my pupils because it's a very simple, quick activity. So we call that a pairing activity, and then they do it on their own. And then I like to use the ice cream sticks. Yeah, this is another thing that we do in our newly aligned classroom environment to get the pupils to, give more to the lesson rather than usually it's the same pupil. Oh, I will do it for you, Ma. I would like to answer this, or I will pick on a few kids that I know who will respond. So when I have the ice cream stick with their names on it, I will just pull out whoever's the lucky person.
It's like a lucky draw, right?
Yes, exactly. So every time when in my classroom, I pick up, I put it in a mug and I go, I'll shake it, and they'll be like, oh, some of them will be, ooh, they'll get so excited because they don't know who's going to be picked. So in a way, it's also for us to make sure that everyone tries or attempt to answer this particular part of the lesson. So, I mean, because this is a different setting, if it's a proper live lesson and I have pupils, that's what's going to happen. So I will give them some time to try and answer this or get the answers to it. If they can't, it's okay. That's the beauty with this particular, it's not just this newly aligned CFR curriculum, it's actually with any kind of subjects. If you guys are not sure, it's okay. It's okay if you don't know the answer. Nobody knows everything. Even I don't know everything. I still make mistakes. Even though I'm a teacher, I still make mistakes. So the main thing is you need to try. And usually I will get them to try and guess the answers first. I mean, some of them are quite clear-cut, quite easy. But maybe certain words like empathy might be a new word to some pupils. And even the word like diagnose, for example. I will allow them to use the dictionary to try and figure out the meaning. At first, I will ask them to figure it out first, if they can. If not, then go to the dictionary. So now it's PDPR, so they can use online. Nowadays, it's so easy for you guys, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, I used to remember the times where I had to actually dig through a dictionary to find, and that actually gives me another skill, so I'm able to look through a dictionary, right? But nowadays, with a few taps on the phone, Google,
click.
you put it in, and then it's already there. So it's just amazing what technology can do.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, hi guys, we have you back online. Okay, so we're going to start our lesson for today, all right? So just a quick one. As I mentioned just now, it's going to be a reading lesson. So I hope you can see the screen here, all right? So this is our preparation task before you guys read the reading activity or the comprehension text, okay? Yes, I think you guys can see it now. Let's try and get you to match the vocabulary on the left side of the table to the definition on the right side of the table. Maybe I'll give you guys around 2 minutes to try and do it on your own. Okay? Or maybe less, because they are really smart kids.
Yeah, maybe we can give them 30 seconds, that would be good.
30 seconds, okay. Afif, is that okay, 30 seconds?
Or if you already have the answers, if you would like to try, you can already raise your hands and you can start answering. Maybe because we have about 6. So maybe we can get each one to answer each. Or maybe, for at least 4, and then we can do the other 2 ourselves.
It's not a difficult activity.
Yeah, actually. Because the answers are already provided, so you can kind of guess which answers go where.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Jonathan, would you like to try empathy, the one that I underlined?
Teacher, I really can't see the screen.
Oh, you can't see the screen?
It's a bit blur.
Oh, it's a bit blur. Okay, Shell.
Okay, there we go. I think they are able to see it now.
Is that a lot better?
Yeah, it's a lot better.
Okay, all right. Okay, I want you to try and guess the definition for the word empathy.
the ability to deeply understand someone's situation or feelings.
Yes, well done. Ting, 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 ting. If you were here with me, I would have given you maybe a sweet or something.
Oh,
Oh,
don't
no,
worry.
maybe a
You
fruit.
you can pass it to me later.
Oh yes, definitely.
I'll have it.
You have it, you eat it for
On
him,
behalf.
on behalf.
On behalf.
Okay. All right, great job, Jonathan. Yes, empathy is to really feel, not just understand, but you also feel how that person's emotions are going through at the
Yes.
moment. It's a little bit different than sympathy.
Yeah.
Sympathizing is just simply feeling sorry for someone.
Okay.
But empathy goes a little bit more deeper.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think another way to explain empathy is more like putting yourself in someone else's shoes.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Good job. All right. No wonder you got an A1 for your English.
Yes.
Yes, great. Okay, let's try with Afif. What about a takeover, Afif? A takeover.
I can't see.
You can't see the screen?
Okay, there we go.
Okay. Can you see now? Which one is the definition for takeover?
A takeover is when someone takes control of something, like a job, and I can see the.
Or a place. Like a job or a
Or a
place.
place.
Yes. Okay, yes, you're
Like a
correct. Okay, but I do have a question for you now. Do you think a takeover is usually the person willingly giving up the situation, or it's forced a takeover? What do you think?
It's force.
By force. Why do you say that? Is it based on what you read and the movies that you watch? Yes.
It's based on what a novel.
Yes, okay, wonderful. Good job. Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
A takeover usually has a kind of a negative connotation to it when you do or, put upon your own ideas, or you
Yeah.
just simply come in, hey, this is my room now.
Yeah.
I think that's what usually happens at home. You know, your elder brother or your elder sister comes in, I'm sitting here, and you're already sitting there. No, I'm already here. No.
Yes.
Take over.
That usually happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hint, hint, elder sister. Please do carry on.
Okay, all right, next, let's have Zandria. Zandria, to underestimate. What do you think the definition is for to underestimate?
To think something is less than it is.
Yes, that's correct.
Absolutely right.
Absolutely right. Well done. Good job. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next phrase, to adapt. Okay, Shima?
Can I take a look at the screen?
Yes, they will project it in a bit. To adapt, but I think you already know what it means, right?
Yes, to the ability to to adapt to the ability of to think of new ideas. I
Yes,
guess.
that's correct. Yes, wonderful. Yep, true. It's not just the ability to think of new ideas, but it's also the ability to look at the surroundings and make yourself comfortable to that particular situation.
Yes.
So that you are able to give the product that you're supposed to give out is the best.
Yeah.
That's to adapt. And thinking of new ideas is also part of adapting. Okay? All right, next one. Who would like to try creative? Anybody? Any volunteers from you guys? Yes,
Okay,
Jonathan.
yes, we have
Good job.
Jonathan.
Okay, creative means I think it's the ability to think of new ideas, because normally creative, if you are creative means an idea has not been said by another person before.
Wonderful. Yeah, exactly. Are you a creative person, Jonathan?
Not really. I'm really I'm the one that likes to do things instead of thinking of new ideas.
Oh, so you prefer to work hands-on?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. That's also very important.
Yes.
Okay,
it
that's
is,
how
it
we
is.
work as a unit. You have the creative person who comes up with the ideas, and then you have people like Jonathan who loves to create or make the creation instead of thinking about it. What about you?
I think I'm more of a hands-on person. And speaking about hands-on, I'm going to take over. And of course, we're going to go for a short break and we'll be back with you for Road to Success SPM 2021. Don't go anywhere.
DidikTV KPM. DidikTV KPM.
And we are back with Road to Success SPM 2021. Again, before we begin, I'd just like to remind you to always follow the SOPs for our fight against COVID-19. And we are, of course, having the English lesson right now. So back to you, Puanima.
Okay, hi guys. So let's get back to what we were doing. Good job on the preparation task activity. Everyone got all the answers correct. So now we are going to read a short text on the title Robot Teachers.
Oh,
Robot Teachers. Okay, so you guys are going to read along with me so that we can expedite the time more. So let's start. Robot Teachers.
Okay.
If you think of the jobs robots could never do, you would probably put doctors and teachers at the top of the list. Because so far, there's nothing like that, right? No robot teachers, no robot doctors. It's easy to imagine robot cleaners and factory workers, definitely. But some jobs need human connection and creativity. But are we underestimating what robots can do? In some cases, they already perform better than doctors at diagnosing illnesses. And some patients might feel more comfortable sharing personal information with a machine than a person. Could there be a place for robots in education after all? Okay guys, from the first text itself, any difficult words so far from the first paragraph? I don't think so, right? Because you could hear me reading the text. Okay, so now I'm going to repeat something from the text itself. In some cases, the robot doctors are already performing better at diagnosing illnesses. Do you agree with that? Do you think robots can be better doctors? What do you think, Shina?
I don't agree with that.
Okay. And next, this is line. This line says, also, some patients might feel more comfortable sharing personal information with a machine than a person. What about you, Afif? What's your opinion about that?
That might be true for some people, but most of the people, I don't think they are comfortable with sharing their opinion as robot.
So you personally, you would prefer to see a robot or a person?
Depending on the person.
Oh wow,
Oh.
he's quite a particular picky person. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next paragraph, the second paragraph. British education expert Anthony Seldon thinks so. And he even has a date for the robot takeover of the classroom.
Oh.
Imagine, guys, you'll have robots as your teachers in the year 2027.
Oh.
How many years is that from now? 6 years?
About 6
Wow,
years.
in 6 years, I will not have a job.
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay, let's move on. He predicts robots will do the main job of transferring information and teachers will be like assistants. I'm reduced to assistants. Oh my God. Intelligent robots will read students' faces, movements, and maybe even brain signals.
Oh.
So I'm going to repeat that. Intelligent robots will read students' faces, movements, and maybe even brain signals. Then they will adapt the information to each student. It's not a popular opinion, and it's unlikely robots will ever have empathy and the ability to really connect with humans like another human can. Okay, so it's quite, wow, It's quite
Yes,
interesting. This is
yes,
my
it is.
first time reading this also.
Oh, okay.
What do you think, Ash?
I think it's robots being able to detect faces and also brain waves and stuff like that. So I think that's a very interesting topic where then they would know whether the student is actually paying attention or not. And that's kind of scary because there are times where students would drift away or even not pay attention, or they might not even be interested in the subject, so there's no running away from that. So
Yes.
that's pretty scary.
Yes, the robots will be able to detect, aha, he's falling asleep.
Yeah.
Aha, he's not paying attention.
Yeah.
Ah, she's putting on some makeup. Ada.
In the classroom.
In the classroom, you never know.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I want to see if you guys are able to make out some of the details from the reading text just now. So, any of you, can you just give me at least one example of how these intelligent robots operate? What can they do? What are some of the features that they will be able to achieve in the classroom? I mentioned 1, 2, 3. 3 things that's related to you. Anyone, can you remember? Because I know if you don't have the text, if you can have the text in front of you, you'll be able to answer my question. Can anybody remember what I read out just now? Jonathan?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the intelligent robots can read students' faces, movements, and maybe even brain signals.
Yes, good job, Jonathan. Definitely going to be B1 and above.
Oh, wow. Yes.
He's got that quality. Okay, wonderful. All right, let's move on now to the last part of our lesson for the day. Would you guys like to have a robot as a teacher? And I just picked out this particular image from Google image.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know, I picked it out simply because I think it's got that soft feature. All right. There were other pictures or images of robots. They look a bit scary.
Yeah, so this is not too intimidating.
Yeah,
It's a bit
this is
more
not too intimidating.
soft in a way.
I hope the pupils will be able to see this online. On their... Can you guys see this picture of the robot? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay,
you
so
can see-
would you like to have... I would say her lah.
Okay.
Because the robot looks very sweet, in my opinion,
Yep,
anyway.
yep.
Right? Would you like to have this robot as your teacher? Who would like to go first? Give me your
for
opinion. Jonathan, okay?
For me, I do not want a robot teacher because I think that a teacher is someone who can teach and also can do counseling sessions with students. If a robot replaces a teacher, it will make the students more cautious and do not want to share information with them, because actually now, if robots are connected to internet, so sometimes if the hackers actually hack the robot, they can actually extract personal information of us.
Wow, Jonathan.
Really went deep into the topic, not only about robots but also connectivity to the internet and everything. It's like, I think it's if we were to continue this conversation, you'll go to robots taking over humanity, right? But we're not going to touch that. We're not going to touch that. But it's a very good point, I think.
Yes, thank you so much, Jonathan. That's a really good, well-structured response from you. Well done, yes. And I like that part when you say you prefer a human, a person like me, so you can share if you have any personal problems, right?
Yes, that's
because as teachers, we don't just teach our subject.
Yeah.
We also want to understand our pupils, love our pupils. We love our pupils and we want them to be better than us. That's the
Yes.
whole reason why I, anyway, personally became a teacher. I just love to see my pupils succeed in life. And you definitely are going to go somewhere, Jonathan. Good job. Okay, Sinma, would you like to respond to this discussion question?
Yeah, sure. I agree with Jonathan because I personally would prefer a human teacher rather than a robot teacher, because in my mind, robot will straightforwardly go to programmed type of situations. So in certain situations, they would understand us, and maybe we wouldn't understand the robots too.
Do you think the robot can crack jokes? Okay, I'm going to assume she says no, okay, from her facial features, because I'm not a robot. so I can read what her
Yes, that's
facial
true.
features are telling me. Yes, I mean this is the thing that's the human touch.
Yes.
As we say. You
Yeah.
know, yes, robots are smart. We have artificial intelligence that's growing leaps and bounds.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, they're not human beings. They don't
Exactly.
have that. That deeper empathy. Remember the word
That's
that we
right,
learned?
that's right,
The
yes.
new word that we learned today, empathy. All right, that's probably one word I would like you guys to take back home today from our lesson, because in order to be a successful person, you can be smart, you can be creative, you can be good with your hands, but to be the best, you need to have empathy. So, because when you have empathy, you can feel not just you can understand truly, like what Ash said just now, the putting yourself in the situation of that person. Therefore, you are able to connect and be the best that you can in life.
Yes,
Okay?
that's right.
All right.
All right, so before we end our lesson for today, maybe you could give us a few words of what we have touched so far, maybe a short conclusion to our lesson for today.
Okay, thank you so much, Ash. And thank you so much to all the pupils today for joining us. Okay, as a final word from me, I would like to encourage all of the pupils in Malaysia who are watching this show to improve yourself. And in particular with English language, for CFR aligned, and you guys are going to sit for the exam at the end of the year. Remember, you have 4 papers to sit for: reading, speaking, listening, and writing. Please don't feel intimidated, or please don't feel, it's English, because your teachers are at school to help you to improve on all these 4 skills. Because when you go out of school, universities, or even when you're in working in any kind of career, just think of it this way. English is just another language, just like Bahasa Melayu.
Yes.
Just like Mandarin or French or whatever language that you want to learn, you use English language to communicate. So I'm going to get back to this popular word, communicate. And you communicate in many ways, okay? So just follow through whatever your teacher is going to share with you, teach with you at school. And at the end of the year, just bear in mind that it's not a difficult task to achieve, and you will all finish Form 5 with English language B1 high. I know you guys will do it, and I'll pray for it, inshallah. Thank you so much.
Thank you once again, Puan Ima, for that kind words, and also for our lesson for today. And of course, I'd like to thank our students who are online with us today.
Thanks, guys.
Afif, Shinma, Jonathan, as well as Zandria. Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, thank you for participating in our lesson for today. And for those of you watching at home, be sure to tune in to Road to Success SPM 2021 for more lessons, and also for subjects relating to SPM 2021. And also don't forget, speaking about thanking, and thanking Puan Iman, also we'd like to thank all the teachers out there. And in relation to hashtag Terima Kasih Cikgu, we actually have another video message, especially for our teachers out there. Thank you, and we will see you in our next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.
DidikTV KPM